Hello YouTube, good morning. Here we are, have ourselves a start to another day. A little bit of a windier day, but hey, it's a day nonetheless. And yeah, welcome to our vlog. So here we go. Well, looks like it might be another semi-quieter day today. The family that was down has, heading on back. So pretty much it'll be just, me around here again. So pretty much, of course, got a few things on the agenda that I'm wanting to do. Started editing up a few more videos to upload to the YouTube. Probably will roll on over into editing up the demo derby footage. I need to do a inventory on my paint and a few things, because there's some things I'm wanting to do before the weather gets cold. You guys seen this 2x4s, whatever it's been now, a week or 3 ago, that I brought home. So I'm wanting to use them for a redneck solution to a ongoing problem. However, I just don't want to stick them up there and have them turn gray like all, old wood does. I'd like to paint them white before sticking them up there. So I need to see what I have for paint. I don't know if I have any exterior grade white paint, so I may have to go down and pick up a cheap can of whitish paint. I know I do have a gallon of blue. The same blue that is on the garage door behind me, but I don't know if I want to waste it on this type of a job. I've been wanting to paint the trim on the garage here, the trim that go around the top there, as well as this window here. I'd like to paint it before the fall, that blue as well. So if I waste that kind of paint, then I'll have to buy it, and it's not cheap paint either, right? It's an expensive blue paint as well. Once the coolness gets in the air, I want to do another round of tree trimming. Of course, I showed you those in the last vlog. I'd like to try to dig down this time, see how deep I can go, maybe actually try to find the root of that tree this time and see if I can get it out of there. I believe it was 2014 or something like that when I tried to trim trees last time, and I ended up losing my saw. I have no idea where the saw went. I put it back where it always been, but it seemed to walk away, and I never did get back to it, and took me a bit to buy another saw, and I just never tried again, right? A year or two goes by, and basically those trees grow right up, just like they were before you even tried to cut them out of there. It's kind of an ongoing, never-ending battle. Pretty much there really is no winners, if you want to say. Pretty much you'll never really win unless you get down and rip out the roots and deal with the problem itself. I wouldn't mind to go uptown, check out the electronics store. I really don't got no money to buy anything, but at the same time, you know how it goes, right? Yeah, you tend to window shop and dream about things you can buy and stuff you can work toward in the future, as well as if Canada Post is going to strike, and it sounds like they are. I want to go check the post office box one more time. They could strike as early as, Monday morning. So which basically means nothing will move. So whatever's in the box now will be in the box for the next 2-3 weeks until all their problems are solved. I don't 100% know or agree with their striking, but at the same time, I guess it is what it is. I know, like I mentioned in other vlogs, about a lot of people would like to have that type of job, but obviously they feel there is conditions that need to be met, and if their conditions aren't met, I guess, then well, that's when they strike. Sometimes strikes are of value, unsafe work conditions or so, but I guess whatever their decision is what they choose to do. We just all have to find out a new method of getting our products, business cards or decals that I want to order and stuff like that until they solve it, right? It seems every few years there's always a strike going on somewhere, and it kind of makes you wonder if some of these strikes aren't orchestrated or engineered by something else behind the scenes that want to cause chaos and confusion or distraction for something else that's been going on. When you watch the news or watch whatever's going on, there seems to always be something going on in the background and a main attraction going on the big screen that everybody's watching. And while they're watching the big screen, something gets snuck through, and nobody has any idea what was going on until, well, after it's too late, right? Well, pretty much as for me, I'm just going to stay close to home here, do my inventory on my supplies, and well, if I gotta buy something, then I know I gotta buy it at the end of the month, budget on for it, and then, well, she's all good. So pretty much, guys, gonna go inside, finish editing up a video or two, and then we'll catch y'all later. A little bit of an afternoon update. Well, of course, the morning and into the afternoon was okay. Ended up going out for some dinner, so that was pretty sweet. Went to a restaurant that I hadn't been at for, I don't know, I want to say a good 8 to 10 years. We used to always, coffee there and hang out there, the work group and stuff. And it changed owners from where it used to be. And like a lot of businesses, when they change hands or so, sometimes the service and quality change as well. So that's kind of what happened there. So when the service and quality of food, cleanliness of the facilities went downhill, I quit going. Some of the diehards still went until they got, food poisoning and died as well. But, and then I don't know if the franchise, the corporate company came in and said, hey, this is below standards, and forced the owners to sell, but new people took it over, spent a ton of money on the building. It's an old 1970s building, but they most definitely did even improvements all the way around, to the lobby, to the bathrooms. I imagine the kitchen probably got a little bit, but a really, really good cleaning would help a lot of situations. The staff were pretty young, but they were friendly, and the food was good as well. You could tell that it wasn't completely homemade, as in homemade. The hash browns were pre-packaged. The sausages and stuff might have been, warmed and then rewarmed, but it was, all good all the way along. It was most definitely a good meal, and, well, I would probably end up going back there. It's kind of funny how no matter how much you try, eventually things do change. Eventually things come and go, and you got to find new places to hang out, new coffee spots, new, right? I know in this day and age, with the economy the way it is, some businesses have closed. They're forced to sell, or some businesses can't provide the service that they used to, or even the staffing that they used to, which then triggers a domino effect, which affects everything around, right? But those that can, well, they continue on going. One place I like to go, they're open 10 o'clock in the morning to 9 o'clock at night. However, I went there at whatever it was, 1 o'clock, and they're closed. It says be back at 4:30. Well, how are you supposed to go for a later dinner and it's closed, right? It's been quite a few times that has happened where I've been wanting to go out with family or friends and we ended up having to go somewhere else, and the food's okay at your backup location, but of course it wasn't what you wanted, right? But pretty much, guys, stopped by the post office box, picked up my handful of junk mail. Still, of course, acquiring junk mail for the 1 year's worth of junk mail video that'll be coming up in, I believe it's June of 2017. And that's one thing I'd like to do, is hand out the old junk mail. And I just keep collecting it, and well, it is what it is. So, gonna go inside, see what's the what, and we'll probably catch you all later. Well, pretty much kind of got bored staying at home. Went out for a little bit of a drive in the old Silverado. Didn't leave town, just went here and there and around. It's kind of weird how when you have a new truck, you tend not to drive it as much as you did your old truck. I don't know, maybe it's because it's new and you don't want to put on too many kilometers or so, where an old truck that's already got 148,000 K, what's another, 40, 50 kilometers, right? I believe I touched on it in an older vlog that I did with my first truck, which was an Isuzu pickup. I drove that thing literally all over the place, in the area. I didn't really venture too far from the town here, but I went out, hour and a half, 2 hours, 3 hours from, and back in. I'd go for drives. You never know where I'd be. And really, when I bought the new car, and then graduated to the new truck and stuff, and then of course the 2015 Canyon, I didn't drive around at all, like I used to. And I still went out once in a while for a drive at midnight, grab a pop and cut a lap or two, but it wasn't like I used to. You'd see a gravel road and you'd think, well, why do I want to drive down there? Where with the old truck, you just head down there, right? I think a lot of it has to do with the mental block that if you put too many kilometers on it, it's going to be wore out too fast, and you're going to have to buy another one. As well as, gravel roads and rock chips and scratches, and well, that hurts when you just finished paying, $30,000 for a truck, and it looks worse than the one that was already 15, 20 years old. And that's kind of where I was with the 2009. It had 61,000 and some odd K on it when I got rid of it, which is next to nothing, really. It should have had, 100,000 or so on it, but I didn't drive it at all like I used to drive the old Isuzu. I believe the 2009 Canyon might have seen one or two short gravel-ish roads, from the main road a mile or two to the farmer's yard, when I was bringing home trailers. But the 2015, in the almost 2 years I had it, didn't even see a single gravel road. And, you kind of have time to think things over, time to think about choices you've made, and, a new vehicle's nice and all, right? However, one, it gives you a false sense of security of having warranty, which really isn't sometimes in your best interest. Warranty's okay and all for, things that go wrong that you cannot fix. But if you're able to fix things on your own, then, just take a small warranty for a year or two, just to make sure the truck is not a POS, and buy a used unit. And when you buy a used unit, for starters, a lot of those minor factory recalls and defects are already dealt with. you know, the 6 recalls that I had on the 2015, I would never have had that to deal with if it would have been a lease return, right? And by buying a pre-owned or used unit, you know, one that's 2 or 3 or so years old, depends on your kilometers, right? You can go with one that's under 100,000 K. You will pay a little more, but you'll get another 15 years of driving out of it. Plus, you'll probably get it for like 25,000 or so instead of 48,000. And really, the more money you can have on a down payment on a truck, the shorter the duration of the loan, and the less the payments are every month, providing that, of course, your credit is good and all that good stuff works with you. Now, of course, before all this happened, I did have excellent credit and all that, and it did take a little bit of a beating through the last year and a half. Some of it had to do with my own doing because, well, I was too stubborn to ask for help. And some of it was basically sort of beyond my control. You know, when the bottom falls out of the economy, kinda, and there really is no jobs, you have to be really quick and really fast if you happen to get laid off to find yourself another job, because there's other candidates more qualified than you, younger than you, that knows the manager that works there, or is buddies with somebody that knows the manager that works at a business. So a guy like me, with very little ties in the real world, doesn't really stand much of a chance to get into a company, right? Now, you know, you guys that watched my video way back, my vlogs and such, you'll know the situation at the time of buying the 2015 Canyon. Now that should have been a dead giveaway right there on not to buy a new truck. However, with the 2009 and the situation with it, I thought by trading off the 2009 I would save myself a headache, get into a new truck which would replace the 2009 by far, and most definitely give the Silverado a run for its money. And then about the time the new Canyon would have been 3 to 4 years old or so, I would have sold the old Silverado by then, and then, well, we're good to go, right? But sometimes your dreams don't turn out to be quite like you think they should. And you got to take a few steps back before you can get up and start walking again. You know, sometimes you fall hard, and fall hard you do. And if you're willing to give up early and ask for help, sometimes you get help, and then you're able to get back on your feet a little bit earlier. One thing I probably will do in another, I don't know, 3 years or 4 years or so, if I do buy another vehicle, it is probably going to be a pre-owned unit, one that's already, like I said, 3-4 years old, preferably with under 100,000 K. And I would like a similar unit to what the Silverado is. You know, plain Jane rubber floor mat, can be an automatic transmission, but none of this fancy electronic stuff that will break over time. But pretty much, guys, of course, I've jabbered on here for like another 8 minutes or so. Maybe I can edit that down a bit to fit into the vlog so it doesn't make another hour-long vlog. Looks like we got ourselves more rain starting. Probably a little shower that'll be around for 15 minutes and then leave, but hey, you never know. So you guessed her, gonna go inside, stay warm, and we'll probably see y'all when it's dark. We've come to the end of another day. It was a good day, a little bit of a quieter day. Did some editing, did some uploadings, filmed a unboxing video, so well, you know, that's a good thing. Pretty much, well, the unpackaging or unboxing video wasn't really a spectacular one. It was of the items that I ordered from China. One thing I will say is they have changed up the design of their GoPro 2/4-inch mount adapters, so now that I have them, I can switch out this mount that I'm using, and I'll keep this, of course, as a backup just in case. Their new design looks better, looks stronger, and the holes that the GoPro bolt would go into, I used to have to drill out, where these new ones are the right size. So now, of course, being in the right size, the plastic is thicker, and now I don't have to drill them out to make the plastic thinner. So it's a win-win all the way around. The little flexible arm that I got should be okay. It may not work for my Princess Auto Flyer like I would like it to. However, I'm sure it'll work for close-up shots of the saw and, well, other things like that. And these skeleton cases for the SJ6000. Obviously, I'll use for the SJ6000, whether it's on the dash mount or, for the saw and things like that. I'd like to start filming the Maxwell's Mind episode again. I don't have a dash camera anymore, so I can use the SJ. I just have to keep the videos, between half hour to 45 minutes total footage, and then when I edit it down, it's all good. Well, our little rain shower we had was only about 15 minutes long. Came on through and then stopped. Everything's dried up. Might get more rain later tonight, but I guess it'll be what it is. Sounds like she's another busy one out there on the streets. Good night to stay indoors, close to home, and around re-roll. But pretty much, guys, gonna end her all here. Today was a good day. Tomorrow's another one. Remember, we do have the post office box for fan mail, decals, letters, and nonsense and gibberish. Send it to me. Post office box is listed below. And as always, thanks for watching Maxwell's Vlogs. Comment, subscribe, and enjoy.